So I haven't personally found the component of not drinking alcohol during 75 Hard that challenging. And that's because before the challenge, I wasn't really drinking that much myself. Now, in past years when I was younger, I definitely did push the limit at times, but even then it was very occasionally and not that often. And recently I've only really had maybe 1 or 2 drinks a month, and that too socially. I never really seek it out myself. It more so is one of those things that if there just happens to be drinks at a social situation, then maybe I will partake, depending on how I feel. But I've noticed that during the challenge, obviously it's completely dry. There's no alcohol at all, and I get why, because alcohol really impacts recovery. And when you're working out this hard, to drink something and then undo all the work that you've put in or disrupt your schedule in any way has got to be enough of a motivator to not drink. So I get it. But I also think recently there's been a lot coming out about just how bad alcohol actually is for us. And I think we've always known this, but there's just more and more of a push now societally to really take a look at what it is we're doing when we're consuming this. And I think things like increased carcinogenic risk and just really seeing how lives can be impacted by misuse of alcohol. I think it is important to say, well, this thing is dangerous to you. And we've done that with cigarettes, and I think we're starting to do that with alcohol, which is really good. Now, I get that this is challenging because alcohol can be a coping mechanism for a lot of people, as much as it has that effect of dulling my senses and helping me regulate my emotions sometimes when I'm feeling sad or angry or upset. It still is one of those things where I think there are better ways of dealing with those emotions. And of course, taking the edge off, there's nothing wrong with wanting to take the edge off, but I think that when it becomes this thing that we constantly use over and over again, then it can become more problematic. So yeah, I think ultimately these past days of the challenge where I have been completely dry, I've really been thinking through what my relationship with alcohol is going to be like moving forward beyond the challenge. And I think I will still be open to having a drink here or there, but I severely want to limit how much alcohol I'm taking in, maybe dropping all the way down to like 1 or 2 drinks a year as opposed to 1 or 2 a month. Yeah, just because I strongly believe that there are just too many risks associated with it. It's a poison. It disrupts all the things that I'm trying to grow within myself, whether it's my physical goals or my emotional maturity goals. Ultimately, it's your choice as to whether you drink or not. And I don't think it's really my place to judge anyone that does drink. But for myself, I know it's something I want to be more intentional about moving forward, and to be bold with these conversations to say, hey, look, I don't think this is something that we should be playing around with. And it's easy to not see the long-term implications of things in a moment, but when you look at the lives that have been impacted by alcohol misuse or overuse, it's also one of those things where it's like, well, we've been able to see that all along. So we need to take that into account. So yeah, how have I been doing with the component of 75 Hard that says no alcohol? There have been a couple of moments where socially people have offered me drinks and I've just said no, even though it would have been nice to have one in that moment. But I really haven't missed much. I'm still having fun. I'm having a lot of adventure. I'm having a lot of social interaction and relationship building. So I don't necessarily need alcohol to do that. And while it is an enjoyable thing to consume from time to time, it's not a necessary thing to consume. I do think it's something that we as society need to constantly have a conversation around, especially if it does have these kind of impacts to us as society. I'm still sick, so I'm gonna go try get some rest and recover. These videos over the past few days have been a little bit on the simpler side just to help me get through the edits faster so I can get to bed. And that's probably what I'm gonna do after editing this today. So, peace.